Top of the morning, goons and mutants. It's Murphy's Law mixed with a sad French movie with a Hans Zimmer soundtrack. It's one of those videos that certainly starts somewhere but doesn't really go anywhere. We had errors with filming. We had errors with the amp. We resolved the errors with the amp, and then there was one final one at the very end, a blown speaker. What are you going to do? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Forgotten Gear Restorations. Top of the morning, goons and mutants. I'm sitting here beside kind of a cool Fender amp. I usually do a lot of homework before I dig in and start a video, and especially because it helps me get ahead of some of the work so I can hit the ground running when I get your amps in. I'm sitting next to a Fender Prosonic amp. This is an amp that I haven't really had on a bench ever, but I've seen them and I've always been a little curious about them. Some pretty cool facts about this particular amp. The series was launched around 96 and lasted through 2001, 2002. Some of the amps have a three-way switch in the back that lets you go from cathode bias to a class AB grid bias, and then you can select between a tube or solid state rectifier, in addition to having channel switching capabilities. And this amp can hit some of the harder rock or metal tones, as I recall. It's been a long time since I heard one. I don't know what I'm in for when I open this thing up. I can tell you this, that it seems like it has a blown fuse. I haven't plugged it in yet, but let's get into it and we'll see what's up. Yeah, there's the rectifier switch. Let me zoom you in there. I guess I'm not going to zoom you in there, am I? Yes, I will. All right, position 1, Class A. Position 2, tube rectified AB2. Position 3, solid state AB2. And by the way, position 1 is tube rectified Class A, they say. I don't know if that's true or not. Now, let's plug her in and just verify. Let's see here. We're at 120 volts on the current limited supply. Let's see if we can, the power switch, there she is. This is actually a 212. Well, that explains it, doesn't it? All right, I've seen enough. Boy, look at this bias cap that's right next to the this cathode resistor here. It's just cooked. Look how brown it is compared to the other ones. Yikes. Even this guy. So I'll check ripple on this guy. I do have a cap. I should probably recap this whole board. These Illinois caps are not looking too good. And then on the bottom, there's an actual doghouse with all the power supply caps in it, which is really nice. I'm actually quite surprised. Uh-oh, what's that? So I've got to measure these resistors here. I thought that one was a little charred, but it's I don't know what that is. Is that just some flux that doesn't, what is that? That's not looking good. Look at that. Actual, the outer shell has actually been compromised. So it's not looking good. So let me see if I can find a schematic and then we'll see what's up. But otherwise, wow, like very impressed with the quality of the build here for Fender. Wow. All right, this is a Zinky design, and again, yeah, it's a 96. Nice through-plated board. Quality pots and jacks. Wow, Fender. What were you guys up to? And this is that low voltage and bias board, rectifier board all in one. I did replace some burnt up, literally burnt up. They had cooked being next to this cathode resistor there. I replaced them with some quality Vichys. This guy's testing okay. There's actually a doghouse below the deck. Let's flip her over and see what's up down there. All right, so it's what you expected. This guy and then this guy over here, these are starting to puke on the board. I'm going to get these out. All right, so I need to clean up some flux here, and one of the most comically difficult cap jobs for no reason. But it's good. I do like the use of 10 gauge wire here, or whatever that is. It's like industrial, residential style wire gauge here for the grounds. Good job, Bruce Zinke. Just really driving the grounds home, buddy. And that's about it. So let me get this cleaned up. I'll put that doghouse cover back on. Well, damn it, that was quicker than I was expecting it to be. Oh. That was a lot quicker than I was expecting. Basically needed a full cap job, except for the low voltage supply. And there was a plate resistor on the last gain stage before the phase inverter that had opened up. So replaced all that stuff, and she's sprang to life. Then I just had to do the basic things like cleaning out the jacks, the pots, and the switches, and all that stuff. Actually, let me get something a little nicer to do this with. I hate when there's that dust underneath the chassis straps. This kind of makes me crazy. Alright. And we'll get it together. We'll whip up a little sound sample, and then she will be on her way. All right, so we're going to get you set up for a quick little audio test. I don't have really any time to speak of. So let's get you, what am I going to use today? I think I'm going to use the guitar with the humbucker and a bridge and single coil in the neck, since this thing has a drive channel. So let me get that set up. I'll be right back.